Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the daytime stream for Tuesday. All right, let's get started. I'm going to go grab the menu. We are adding yet another item to it. This time it's going to be Avatar Last Bender. Mega Dream has not showed up yet. It's very icy outside. That might be the reason. All right, but they did say it should show up tonight, so maybe it will show up tonight. Actually, I wonder if we looked at the tracking if it still says that. Okay, this title shall say Avatar Last Airbender MTG, and it shall say Nami Manga One Piece Break Live Card Shop. So One Piece has been doing pretty good. We're gonna put a manga card out there and see how that does. Okay. Now for the Avatar, let me get a price on the Avatar. Give me a second here. Hey, what's up, Resendez? All right, let's see if we can find it. Give me a second. Avatar. Oh, no, that's not what I want. How'd that happen? Okay. Okay, so Avatar maybe is going to cost around $55, it looks like. Let me look up Avatar Last Airbender. Wow, that's a long thing to type out. Avatar Magic the Gathering Collector Booster Box. Jesus Christ, dude. What are these going for? Let's go with best match, maybe. We're going to do a quick search over here. These sorting systems are not that good. Okay, so maybe... maybe this. And let's go ahead and grab this. So we're getting a price right now, guys, on the Avatar packs. It's 12, right? There's 12 packs per box. I don't know how popular these have been, so I really bought a limited amount of them because the Spider-Man did not do super well. All right, let's see. Okay, $55 it is. So our price shall be $55 a pack. Now, where do we have it? Tops of the card sets. Magic. We're going to say CB for collector boost. Oops, what the hell? That's crazy. Why did it do that? Collector booster. Oh, it did it again. Collector booster box. Avatar. Dang, dude. 55. There we go. So we can't save it because there's no more room on the menu. What do we remove from the menu then? Boy, that's a real problem, the menu being too full. Glory. Let's type in Team Rocket. Okay, that helps a little bit. So the menu's at that point where it's extremely full. And now we're scrapping about for even 1 or 2 spaces in the menu. That's not a good place to be. Let's just call this Rocket. Okay. When you start shearing up the menu because there's no more space to type anything, that's not good. Okay, we'll hit save. It means we got to either remove stuff from the menu or we got to sell through a set that we don't intend to restock. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of these. Oh, right here, FedEx service alert, national disruption. That sucks. All right, let me go ahead and delete some of these though. So we got all these junk emails. I don't need all these. Okay. UPS update, package delivery reschedule. Ooh, there it is, guys. Let me check our package to see if we're affected by that or if it's still on the way tonight. That sucks, dude. Boy, we've been waiting a long time. Let me delete this. Okay. We're gonna jump over here. We're gonna check out the shipping on the Mega Dream. I've got the tracking number here, so we're gonna track copy on that. Let's go over to FedEx. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the daytime stream for Tuesday. Even if we don't get Mega Dream today, we're still going to have some fun. But we're still waiting for it. It's kind of annoying, isn't it? It's not here right now, but it might show up tonight. So it says... It's got a yellow exclamation mark. Delivery updated. Delivery updated. Will be updated soon. There isn't even a date anymore. It's just got an exclamation mark. It says delivery updated. Dang, dude. It was supposed to arrive on the 2nd, but it still says it's supposed to arrive on the 2nd, except it's not it's got like a yellow exclamation mark next to it now. So I don't know. Let me check. What if I click on this? What does it say then? Oh man, I don't even know, guys. Dang, dude. Hopefully it arrives much faster, but it said it doesn't say that it's in Missouri, but it says it's supposed to be delivered today. That it's not showing up. Oh my god, dude, what terrible timing. It's so frustrating because everybody else has it. All right, man, dude, that's terrible. So here we are, and I'm plugging the camera in. But we got our avatar at least, so that's nice. We're gonna do this One Piece break, so that's nice for One Piece people who want a Nami. Let me set this behind me. That's terrible. And so the tracking shows that it's not even in Missouri, and it's supposed to arrive today. But it's got this yellow exclamation mark next to it, and I got an email from both UPS and FedEx saying there's been a national disruption or something like that. Disruption. Use that anger toward Tim Waltz. Yeah? What about Tim Waltz? What's going on with that guy? How much did he know about the whole Somalian, historically large Somalian, what is it called? Like welfare fraud or something? All right, we'll jump over here. We'll jump over here. There we go. All right. Usually a week for shipping to arrive, 4 to 5 days. USPS doesn't. USPS did show up. Did you guys get a tracking number? Does it arrive when it arrives? Yo, is that a Mongo? You need to get Union Arena Nikkei English. Damn, mister, hopefully not stolen. No, it's not stolen. It's not stolen. It's the snow. It's the snow. It's like pure ice outside right now. So that's undoubtedly it. What probably happened is they probably were scheduled to have it over here, but the reality is the snow was probably holding it back. God, that's terrible. What terrible timing, man. Billions of money supposedly left Minnesota to support terrorists over there. Billions? I don't know about billions, but if any of it went out to go support terrorism, that's kind of insane. Yeah, I mean, I feel kind of betrayed. I've been following that story too. When it broke, I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this real? And as I learned more and more about it, I felt betrayed. It was a pretty bad feeling. All right, so One Piece is one of the most popular sets on this channel. We're going to probably host a break on this. We have the Japanese manga for Nami, is that right? Luckily, there's a couple of these. And how's the price worked over time, I wonder? It is CS, man. Sad politics time. This is so... He's talking about the Mega Dream, I'm pretty sure. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, wow. The English version of this card goes for an insane amount of money. What does that come out of? PRB1, huh? Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. All right. Keyword supposedly. It is. All right. Hold on, wait, where's this coming from? Oh. They're all in Japan. That's crazy. None of them are... Oh, here we go. Here's one in the U.S. Oh, my gosh, but it's almost $150 more. So then we have to calculate... Basically, we have to calculate import fees on this. I hate the import fees, man. All right, so let's do this. Oops, I must have turned numlock on. All right, times some amount. divided by 40. So it'd be a 19 spot break, the Nami. That's where we're at with this Nami. All right. I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to go ahead and acquire this. It's the import tax, man. Crazy. This order includes import fees. Oh my God. I just got a $330 import fee bill. So I just got that bill. Okay. Crazy expensive. Okay, let's go ahead and place this up here. I wonder if that will make the English cards artificially expensive. Because when there was no import fee, there would have been a certain price disparity between the Japanese and the English cards. But now if the Japanese cards come with sort of a tax on them and the English ones don't, I wonder if that affects the actual real prices. It must affect the real prices because the Japanese cards are artificially expensive. Minister's a baller. We can demolish them in seconds, so I don't know if that's considered war. What are you talking about? Minister's a Somalian. Yeah, am I? I don't know about that. All right, what we got? 1 in 19, no star spot. I think it was 1 in 17 last time, and it finished pretty fast. It was 1 in 17 last time, wasn't it? You can change your YouTube settings unless they change it. Here we are. There we go. All right, so this shall say, should it say Nami on it or One Piece? Let's say Nami. No, I think it should say Manga. Give me a second here. The Nami manga One Piece break has traditionally always moved very fast. It's getting a little more expensive each time we break it. I think not too long ago we were breaking this for like 15 spots, I think, right? All right, that looks terrible. I can't take it. It's going to drive me crazy. What's up, Jack? He says, read my comment. It's not there. I don't see a comment by Jack. Let me go to Top Chat, maybe? Chat filter. All messages. There we go. Are we really going to war with Venezuela? Ah, wow. So you asked that question if we're going to war, and it hid the comment. That's so interesting. Well, I just woke up. I woke up at like 5:15, and I have not read any news at all today. It looks an awful lot like Trump's trying to get regime change in Venezuela. I don't think anyone's denying that. The question is, will he actually invade? And does he have the right to do that? He declared the Venezuelan president like a narco-terrorist or something like that, right? And under that designation, I think he's kind of acting like he's just allowed to attack him now. So I think Trump basically wants to do a war with Venezuela without having to get approval from Congress. I think that's what he wants to do. Here we are. Putin might go to war with Germany. Nah, I don't think Putin's going to do that. Putin's got, how many troops could Putin have left after Ukraine? I mean, he wouldn't survive that. There's too many people alive and healthy in Germany. Okay, let's go back to calling it Nami. Nami was good. Ah, yeah, much cuter. Okay, much happier with that. Very nice. Smash that like button for me, guys. We are in horizontal mode, which means if you don't smash like, we're not going to have any likes because in horizontal mode, we don't get as many viewers as the truth. So every one of your likes is precious. My precious. Let's grab one of these. Let's grab one of these. We got these two expensive cards. Do we have any other expensive cards? Every like is important when we're in this mode. Because we don't get as many viewers, so it's hard to get a lot of likes. In vertical mode, I almost don't even have to ask for likes, and we get so many, it's plenty. All right, there we go. Take a couple of these expensive cards down now. Yeah. Really not a bad group of choices. I don't know if the Greninja's gone down a bit, but he's a red label. Is it possible it arrives today? So if it's not in Missouri, if that's accurate, it will not arrive today. And what could be happening is the old tracking number is simply not updating to show me when it will arrive. But, you know, it really just takes 1 day for it to arrive. So I can see where it's at, and it could show up any day now. Oh, hold on. I got a Mr. Brett Love message. Oh, okay, cool. So that seems fine. Let's see. Is this Ivan? Ooh, Mr. Ivan bought a couple slabs. Okay, cool. And here's a Tammy message. Okay, Tammy just trying to help out, telling me about a order change. And let me mark this on red. Okay, and let me head over here to the channel, Pricey Slabs. I'm going to take a picture of these Pricey Slabs and pull them down. There we go. Do you like that sound effect? Let's get the Gengar tomorrow. I'm hoping it's tomorrow. Yeah, I'm hoping it's tomorrow. Most likely what happened was they were already disrupted by Monday, and they weren't updating their arrival dates. I'm really disappointed. I knew it was a bad situation because I was out there driving in the snow. Oh, this is the new bounty, huh? So the new bounty shall be this Lily Solgaleo card. It's actually a pretty rare card, if you didn't know that. Ugh. Mr. Send me a Nami Mommy spot out my store credit, please. Oh yeah, Mr. NHCC, we need to take care of you too. Okay, so we're gonna do that for you, and in the meantime, let's grab some more of these. Frostlass, Kingdra. I love the Kingdra, by the way. I'm a big fan of that. We should have a separate channel for like pristine 10s from Tag. Oh, Eric Cartman. That's expensive, so that's gonna be 300. That's a not from Team Up. That's from Hidden Fates, and it's just a really, really nice old card. What's this back here, Melodic? Okay, I think we got everything. One more picture. There was a lot of that set being opened last night. One Piece? Dude, Sarah sent in a $500 order for One Piece last night. It was pretty impressive. But it shows me there's a real desire for One Piece. And as a result, we should keep a One Piece break running on the table, I think. All right, cool. Well, let's take a quick look at what is going on. So we have a Pat Gibbs order that was placed at so-and-so time, a Zach order that was placed just before his, and how about this? Oh, we need to set up the website. I always forget. I have to set that website up every time. Okay, and a pretty decently sized Ivan Rodriguez order. I'm going to jump over here. I'm going to close some of these eBay windows. We're going to open up our live chat. So I have a timeline for Miss Alexis returning. She's back on Thursday to do the shipping. So we're going to allow the shipping to build up to Thursday, everybody. Okay, let's put this here. And pin it to the menu. Too many things to remember to do when I go live. All right. And I'll close that. Okay, cool. More manga breaks. Yes, here it is. Well, I'm very hesitant to try out too many characters. Like Luffy would probably be safe. But we did like a manga D teach, and it got stuck on the table real bad. So I only want to do good characters. I don't want to do characters that people won't want to finish. All right, so Mr. Zach, you're first. A box of OP14. You got it, Mr. Zach. We need to coach Mr. and which mangas to break. The teach and law were destined to fail. So now I know Manga D teacher and Trafalgar Law, not popular. Boa manga. Okay, Boa manga, huh? Snuck out real quick to say hi and like the stream. Oh, thanks, Mr. Whipple. Oh, my eye's burning. Oh, I must have rubbed cat dandruff in my eye. It hurts. I opened the door to my room and the cat darted in because the cat's not allowed in the room. And I had to like go wrangle her and get her out of there. There you are. She's very energetic. I call her rambunctious. Ooh. Law is definitely better than Blackbeard, but much better mangas out there. There you are. I know for a fact that the Nami one is safe because every time I run Nami, it does very well. There we go. All right. Okay. I need to find someone in Asia who will like smuggle me goods into America. I had a Chinese seller do that the other day. Chinese seller said, I'm going to declare this as $50. And it was like a $400 case of stuff. And I was like, oh, thank God, dude. But I don't know if he'll get caught or not at the border. But, you know, the U.S. just started applying tariffs, so they might be lazy about it. Who knows? They might not be very good at it. Ooh. Law is very popular with the women in Japan. His life-size statue is often molested. What am I listening to? Molested? Who's that guy? My name's Mo. Oh. First name Mo, middle name Lester. Hey, what's up, Stacked? Stacked, you didn't hear that, did you? Here's a hollow. Here's, oh, the cannon. Hoo-hoo. Okay, guy with the cannon. Wait, what am I opening? This is OP9. Zach, I grabbed the wrong box. Well, so what? Is this my box of OP9 now? Isn't that OP10? It's just that OP10 wasn't that popular of a set. All right, where do we go from here? Sounds like tariff fraud. Yeah, it does sound like tariff fraud. I don't know. Ah, my eye's itchy. Oh. It's probably an underdeclared package. Yeah, wrong box. Haha. All right, so what do we do here? What do you guys think we ought to do? I could sell the rest of these open packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's 19 packs. I could sell these for full value to somebody who wants 19 packs where a bunch of the cold ones are already opened. Or I can open this whole box for myself and cross my fingers. Who wants to do what? I'll take it if there's a manga. Yeah, we don't know that yet. So it either does have one or doesn't have one. It's probably rare that it has one. But you're getting offered a deal because you know 5 cold packs are already removed. Mr. Import some Japanese women so we can do a Law Mango break. Import some women? I don't think it works that way. Hey, what's up, Mr. Luke? How's it going, man? Open for yourself and grade the hit. Easy. Well, yeah, of course I could do that. I'm going to give you guys a chance to buy them, though, first. Because I don't normally open boxes of One Piece for myself. If you want it, speak up. If nobody wants it, then I open it for myself. It's 19 packs. 5 cold packs have been opened for free. Mister, send me a Nami mommy spot out of my store credit. Here, let me do that while we're waiting for that. So I'll do that right now. A Perez, NHCC. He's got 103 credit. And this shall be lowered down to 63. I don't even know what music is playing right now. Okay. There probably is not a manga in there, but there's a chance for a manga. A manga or whatever else is good that can show up in there. Okay. NHCC, you know me. I never forget. They call me Mr. Never Forgetty on account of me never forgetting things. I'm going to flip this around. Okay. Nami Moore, the hot older sister, makes you do yard work. Okay. Now NHCC is going question mark, question mark, question mark. He says, sure. Was that store credit that we had already spent? Is that why you're doing that? Nami. This. Oh, no, he's making fun of me for calling myself Never Forgetty. That's what it is. Brett Love, Mark Valerian to Tammy, Diane Bailey, 2 mega boxes, Edward Cornelia, box of OP5. This is spent. Yes. Okay. Nobody wants it? All right, so this is my box now. Let's see what I pull out of here. Here's a holo. If I pull a manga, it's mine. I'm not going to feel bad about it. Sometimes I feel like I've stolen something from someone. If we ever pull something hot out of here. Hey, what's up, Mr. Edward? Here's a holo. Ooh. Well, I pulled a Luffy. I'm not sad about a Luffy. Might actually be able to make some of my money back on a Luffy. Here's a holo. Still a chance for a manga, actually, because the manga will come out and not replace the hit in the box, okay? Maybe a leader parallel. That'd be nice. Here's a holo. Here's a holo. What new breaks? Just one new break, and it's the Nami break. Other than that, we still have all the other ones running. Oh, the lightning break. You might not be familiar with that if you haven't come in for a couple days. Yeah, the lightning break has changed. It's a... Hold on, let's see what this is. It's a nice Pokemon Center knockdown promo from like a year ago or so. All right, so there's a Luffy box. It's not bad. No chance for a manga. Mangas can only be pulled with an SEC. Huh, weird. Little rules, huh? So what did I pull? SEC Star? I don't even know what that means. Secret Alternative Art? It's their Jumbo Pack break. Currently, there is not, but I can make one. I can make one. I probably need to. So I shall prepare this for grading. You guys are often asking for more One Piece slabs, so this is good. This will give me a chance to make one. What do you guys think about me grading these SR cards? To, you know, these basic pulls, like this guy right here. I don't think I'd grade any of those. I'd probably grade this Shanks, though. I don't know. Every box has one guaranteed Shanks in it. I don't know how good of a pull that is. Okay, those are mine. That's a parallel, which doesn't count as a regular. When you pull a secret, the only additional pull is a leader parallel. What? You're so knowledgeable. All right, so I'll put these to the side as well. Oh, we have a new first-time order card. This beautiful Slowbro. If you're new placing a first-time order, you get this Slowbro for free. Ooh, Shinji Kanda. Okay, put that back over there. And where's that lightning break? Here it is. This knocked out lightning break is the current lightning break. So, Zach, we still have yet to start your OP14 box. You know, from the top, that OP9 box, from far away in the darkness, it looked just like OP14, and it was right next to OP14. But once my brain had decided that's what it was, it didn't stop itself from opening it. Are you more bullish on Pokemon or One Piece in the next 5 years? I'll be honest, Pokemon, I'm a Pokemon collector. All that I'd have to say is that I notice, hey, oi, stop with the noticing, or something like that. I noticed One Piece is doing well, too, and we sell a lot of it, and so it's a pretty conservative move, but I take on some extra One Piece in order to host breaks and pack openings for people who really love it. I was thinking of hosting a break for a whole box of OP13 sealed so that you can put it up in your closet. What do you guys think of that? I meant you purposefully saved 2 $40 break cards as SC mine from past cancel breaks for this exam, but now you never forget. Oh, I see. Okay, here we are. Are those still floating around in there, though? Let's see. What? I would never, Mr. NHCC. I would never forget that. They call me Mr. Never Forgetty. That's my name. Okay, here goes. Ooh. I'm more bullish on waifus from Weiss Schwartz. They're currently undervalued. Here's a holo. They will rise again. All right, let's see what we got for you. Cowboy Bebop. She's got a cowboy hat. That's some pair of boobies she's got too, huh? They're just like exploding off of her chest. There. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Ooh, that looks really cool. That's Crocodile, right? Here's a hollow. Here's Mihawk. All right. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. All the girls in One Piece are built the same. Yeah, I actually kind of noticed that. Hey, this girl, whose name, I've already forgotten her name. Her name is not Robin. All right. Shaboop. But yeah, look, we're selling quite a bit of this One Piece, aren't we? And compare that to how much like Inferno X we've been opening. We don't open whole boxes of Inferno X every day. So it's kind of interesting. There's just a lot of demand for this One Piece right now. It is. We got 45 years. How's it going, guys? Happy Tuesday. Tuesday is commonly known as the slower day of the week. It's nice to see you guys. We are. They got them long tummies. Something like that. Now, wait a second. You don't normally give up your hollows. That's Miss Sarah does that. Here we are. Okay. Sarah gives up her hollows. Place these like this. No manga in there. The Dan would beg to differ. Ta-da! Thank you, Mr. Zach. Just woke up, man. I'm still like half asleep. Here's the pack split. Can't wait for that to go off. Here's Latios, in case you missed that. Here's Melodic. So we have a fun show for you guys because we got all these tag slabs to price up. And we're in horizontal mode, which is often better for pricing up slabs. Zach is done. Thank you, Mr. Zach. We have an order from Mr. Pat Gibbs. 1 live, 2 Poke Shuffles. Okay, 1 live, 2 Poke Shuffles. Mr. Pat, you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that could be a hit. I wonder if it is. No, it's not. It's an Ace of Spades, though. That's kind of cool. So they really get shuffled, huh? That's interesting. They get shuffled up pretty heavy. And now, how about these 2 Poke Shuffles? You ready? Hey, mister, do a box break for PRB1. Yes. So what's the deal with PRB1? Why is that one so expensive? 1, 2, shoot. 2 cold ones. Sorry, Mr. Pat. You did pick up a nice poker card, though. Mr. Pat. My God. Here's a Pat Gibbs number 2. Here's a Pat Gibbs number 1. Yeah, what's the deal with that one? I noticed it got super expensive. I wish I had a lot more of it, and I don't. I've got like 2 boxes left. There we go. Very nice. And now, let's see. Let's take a quick look-see at what we got for sale. Here's a Leiron from Twilight Masquerade. Leiron, huh? Okay. We're going to say $19 for Leiron. And then let's see who goes next. We have an order from Ivan Rodriguez, and he says, on to scored, $100 of slabs. Let's take a quick look at what he bought. Why Giovanni got to make weird faces like that? Yeah, what the hell, Giovanni? What are we talking about? Let's see. Okay, let me mark this on red. I got to respond to that later. All right, we're going over to Ivan. Somebody sent me a whole message about, some other rip and shipper kind of scamming him. All right. These all look like they would probably come out of the Discord server, right? Let's start looking for them. We're in the nines box. So let's take a look at everything we need. I'll say it out loud. We need Horsey, Walking Wake, Doug Trio, Clefable, I mean. No, Clefairy, Chandelure, and Goop Gas Attack. Here's Chandelure. So we got one so far. Goop Gas Attack. Goop Gas Attack. Pretty gassy. Mistress, the sexiest white man. You gotta say it with gusto. You gotta say white man. Let's see. I don't know about sexiest. It is. Okay. Am I the S at anything? He's the best at card breaks, maybe? I'd like to think I am. Let's see. I'm betting some of these are actually on the table, huh? Hey, what's up, Mr. Ivan? I hope things are going well. Let's see. I'm getting your order together right now. Ah, Goop Gas Attack. There he is. Clefairy. There she is. They would be at the bottom of the box. They're all on the Discord Nice channel. Nice. Okay. There's the Horsey. Here's the Duck Trio. What are we missing? Walking Wake. I don't think we pulled the Walking Wake. You know, wait. Walking Wake sold. Yeah, Walking Wake sold. I remember it. I must have posted it. If it's still up there and I didn't say sold on it, I apologize. But that one sold, I remember. You know how I remember? Because like 3 people tried to buy it. All at the same time. All right, so I'm sorry, but that one got sold. All right, we'll put this back in here. Everything's got to go back in the box. All right. Mr. Read my above comment about Discord. Let's see. He says, self-reminder, 63 store credit, 2 times 40. Mr. You should make a store credit channel on Discord to track everyone, and it'll double as your receipt. Here, I'm going to put this over here. I kind of don't want to do that. Let's see. Mainly because I don't want to have to like update the Discord every time somebody does something with store credit. It's too common to do things with store credit. It would take forever. Okay, so these can go in here. Except for the Laron. Laron should stay on the table. He just got added. I think we've talked about this very subject before. We are. Think about it. I'd have to like fill up the Discord with like hundreds of little notes about store credit this, store credit that. And then when you spend the store credit, I would have to go back in and delete each one of the comments. I don't know how other channels do store credit. Maybe I should see what their systems look like. Okay, here's what we got so far. And we're going to write your name down, Mr. Ivan. Thank you, Ivan. Appreciate it. Sent for the one as well. 19 bucks. Oh, sounds good. Why is there slabbed water energy? That's where the money is, man. Energy cards. Here's Ivan. Rodriguez. Mister doesn't like extra work, even when it's helpful, says Cody Hodges. Ivan. Rodriguez. Well, you know, we've been doing it this way for a long time. It mostly works, actually. It is. All right, cool, man. Because water's life. Ooh. Now, we weren't able to get you the Walking Wake, and that card was $15. So here you are. See, look, here's a store credit right now. Imagine I had to go track this in Discord. It would add another layer of work I have to do. Cold, hold on. Let me tell AI to tell Mr. Oh, Cody, hold on. Here's Ivan Rodriguez. All right, so I believe he said he also just sent for the dinosaur, right? Yes. So the dinosaur is yours later on. And Ivan, you've got $15 left, okay? Do you have a $15 slab on the table? Let me take a look. I might have a $15 slab on the table. I don't think I... How about this card right here? See this Pharaoh Seed? Would you take that one? Little $5 bonus Pharaoh Seed. It's supposed to be 20, but I'll do 15 for you just to clear your store credit out. All right. Very nice. Okay, you got it, Mr. Ivan. Here goes. Very nice. Ivan Rodriguez. Good. Here, I can help you with your store credit, Mr. NHCC Watch. 1, 2, 3. So we take these $80 and add it to the $63. I should be able to do that math in my head, but I'm being lazy. $143. So we can just throw these away now and say 143. Today, there were no mistakes made on your store credit at all. It's just that you've got those 2 extra energy cards. Maybe they were kind of annoying to look at, but now they are gone. You have a single store credit card. Okay. Next up, we have an order from Mr. Luke Laurie, who's going kind of deep. He wants a $200 slab away payment. You got it, Luke. All right, Luke. Let's see. Luke. So Luke Laurie, this goes down to $480. Boom. All right, thank you for that. And then he wants a spot in the Mega Gengar break. Oh, Mega Gengar break, guys. It's getting close. There it is. So this shall say Luke Laurie. There goes. So up to spot number 3 is completed. 7 spots are left. Mega Gengar. He's almost done. That's the big one. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing all right. 12 Mega Brave packs. So specific. Mega Brave. Very brave. Nope, that's not Mega Brave. Feel a little overworked. Kirsten and I have another doctor's appointment tomorrow morning, which is sort of like my nighttime. And then after that, we have another doctor's appointment. And after that, we may have another doctor's appointment. It's pretty, it's kind of overwhelming. We are. I probably shouldn't even be doing this. I should just be relaxing between doctor appointments. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let me go grab some more, okay? Okay, I'll be back. All right, here we are. Woo. Boop. Very nice. open this box. All right. There we go. Okay. Good. So what do we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we got 11, 12, 13, 14. Ta-da! 60 people in here and we can't get more than 7 likes? What? On my screen it says we got 32 likes. Thanks for all the likes, guys. You're too kind. I really appreciate it, everybody. Great job. So we got these beautiful Mega Braves to open. Mega Brave, Mega Symphonia. The Stranger Things finale is going to be 2 hours and 5 minutes. Ah. So let's be real about Stranger Things. I thought that season 5, part 1 basically sucked. I thought it was terrible. The more time I had to think about it, the more I realized it was kind of really bad. In all kinds of ways. Did you all watch it yet? Stranger Things Part 1, Season 5. Here goes. You ready? Mr. Luke. Cold. I thought it was pretty bad. I didn't like it. I realized much of what happened in Season 1 was kind of pointless. It is. Here we are. Here's the bird. Here's a cold pack. Here's, what do we got? Absol. I wonder how many Pikachu cards have passed through Mr.'s hands. Some countless number. Who knows, man? I don't know. I don't know if I can talk about Stranger Things without spoiling it. Okay, yeah. Andy says no spoilers. Sorry, guys, I can't talk about it. Andy hasn't sat down and watched it. Come on, Andy. Get with the program. I thought it was pretty good. You know which character I cannot stand? The new actress for Holly. I cannot stand that character. Here it is. The character looks so annoying, dude. Maybe the later half saves it. I like it, though. Feels like Deathly Hallows. Deathly Hallows. What, you mean like Harry Potter Deathly Hallows? It is. Well, I did make fun of it at the end. I said, oh, look, they're just copying Harry Potter. I told Karis that. I only seen 3 episodes. Get with the program! All right. Oh, I'm waiting to binge the first half. Oh, my God, bro. All right. I heard Andy N and thought Andy Man. So, Mr. Luke Laurie, you are picking up 2 ARs and a couple of hollows this time. Nothing too crazy popping out of these packs. I like your Veltal. They grew up so quick. Yeah, so I feel like casting was really a big problem for this season. All the characters were far too old. They all looked super old. Mr. Luke. And I don't like the replacement actor for Holly. I think she looks really annoying. She like overacts. She's supposed to be playing like a kid, right? She's supposed to be playing like this young kid, but her acting skills are almost like they're too technical. Like she's too aware that she's acting. Wait, didn't I take a picture of these already? You can tell she's like working really hard to move her eyes around and all this stuff that actors do, but she's supposed to be a kid. I had a lot of siblings. I came from a big family of 11 siblings. They don't move their eyes and express that much. Kids are too dumb for that. In general, kids are not that smart and they don't express that much. And so she's like doing the expressions of an adult, essentially. We are. All right. And it felt very fake. So I thought that she was maybe what you would call overacting. And it looked terrible. We are. I don't like the way she looks either. Yes. All right. Very nice. Placing this here. Need to be more natural. It's okay, mister. We have 25-year-olds running around as 15-year-olds. Yeah. Yeah, that was really hard to make sense of too. But yeah, their acting was bad too in general. Like, every single time they pull out, like, the stupid Dungeons and Dragon pieces to explain the world or something, it's like, bro, we get it. Ivan says, tag on the table you just priced. We took care of that. Can I please get the tag 9 layer on? Oh my gosh, Miss Beatrice tried to get it right afterwards. I'm so sorry, Miss Beatrice. Wow, I did not catch that happening. I'm so sorry. I didn't expect that. Miss Beatrice, you both ordered for it, but he actually ordered it first. All right, but that's okay because there's a lot more slabs, Miss Beatrice. Speaking of which, let's get one onto the table. How about that Chansey, everybody? The lady that played Moaning Myrtle in Harry Potter was 37. Yeah, but she was just like a ghostie. You couldn't tell anything about her. There it is. All right, so this is going to say Chansey. It's not like she was hanging out like part of the group, you know what I'm saying? There it is. All right. Looks like it's going to be about 40 bucks. Okay. Yeah, I didn't like the way Holly looked at all. She looked like she had like a lip job already. You know, whatever that is where they inject crap into your lips. The pigtails, everything about her was like super annoying. It's like, who's this meant to appeal to? It is very nice. It was kind of gross. And then her overacting and everything, and I didn't like it. There was like a vibe between her and the bad guy that was like, I didn't like that vibe, you know what I'm saying? It didn't feel right. Okay, let's see. Mr. Zach, he says, Nami break. Hell yeah, dude. All right, let's get you in there. Aegis number. I sent an addition order. Please use that for spot in the lightning break. All right, you got it. Okay, you're in for the knockdown. Good luck in there. Knockdown is now up to 3 out of 6, guys. There's a break that could end pretty fast. And then, what were we doing with this? This is for Zach. Here you go, Zach. We have a new exciting break on the table, as if we don't have one every single day. And that is Nami for the One Piece guys. People who like Nami. I think that's cool. That's another criticism I have. Like, when you do actually watch Harry Potter, Voldemort's got like an actual ambition. Like, you know what his deal's all about. You know? He wants to be a powerful wizard. And then at some point, they don't like him because he's put together like an evil group. And he doesn't like interracial marriage. That's what makes Voldemort a bad guy, basically. He wants a pure Aryan... wizard race. So that makes him a bad guy. And it's basically, you know, just stealing ideas from World War II, which is exactly what Star Wars did, right? Star Wars did the exact same thing. They stole their style from World War II. So Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings feels an awful lot like World War I and maybe World War II. So, you know, these old stories steal a lot from just the old world wars. And Harry Potter's bad guy, Voldemort, you know, he was a nasty guy because he's like, oh, I don't like the half-breeds or something like that. And it's like, oh, okay. We're going to have a pure wizard race. I don't understand. What's, like, Vecna, that we're this far in, and they've never really established what makes this guy so evil. Like, his parents weren't nice to him, the end. I don't know. Update my Nami spot since you forgot. Here we are. This is on to 2. Inspired by, not stolen. JRR token spoke from experience. I think that's a good point, Mike said. That is a good point. Mr. Read my comment. Let's see. What's up, Strawberry? Hey, what's up, Miss Sarah? Okay. What do we got next? Here's an order from Andy Dirksen. $75 for my slab away and the tag 10 Absol from Discord. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Andy Dirksen? So $75 going to your slab away. Let's see. This is going to say $75 on it. Boom. All right. And then a tag 10 Absol. Wasn't it because he was a bad version of Jane and she sent him to the underworld? bad version of Jane. I'll grab this. Let's see. 10 Absols. I can only find one Absol. Absol 10. You said it's in the Discord, right? Let's go hunting for it. Flip this around. What do you think of the North Ireland political threat? Political threat? Has someone made a threat? There's a lot of unhappiness in Europe because there's huge amounts of immigration into Europe right now. And one of the hot spots for that is Ireland. Ireland, which is pretty familiar with being like attacked and colonized and having land stolen from them in the past by Britain. And so, you know, you have that extra layer. But it's like their politicians very strongly support lots more immigration. So they have like a leftist leader who very strongly wants more immigration. So that area is having a lot of conflict because it's like one of those political subjects that's very serious. It's not like, oh, we're going to raise the taxes a little bit. Some people feel like they're being invaded and having land stolen from them. It is. And so, you know, that doesn't end and people just just go to bed over it. Who cares? That ends in people getting real mad. Real angry. But I haven't heard any recent news about it. Actually, it's really funny we're talking about this subject. I was learning about a place in Russia called... Oh, is it this Absol? Could it be this Absol? Hold on. There's an Absol. Let's see if it's this one, Mr. Andy. Okay, we're going over to the All Slabs channel. Must be this one, right? Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't update the Nines channel. Gotta stay on top of this. There's a lot of stuff, man. It's this one, right? Let's see. Oh, no, I see a different one. It's probably not that one, is it? It's a different one. He says not that one. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. I was checking because I know there's another sexy one, and I kind of figured that was the one we were looking for. But when I ran into this one first, I said, maybe it's this one? Let me make sure that hasn't sold. We're actually grabbing the last of the slabs right now. Let's see, what are you guys saying? There's a video threatening North Ireland politicians by mass dudes due to immigration and other issues. All right, so I believe that Absol is sold. I'm going to mark him as sold. I could not find him. Absol sold. All right. Unless he's up on the table or something, which I don't think he is. I don't see him in here. Let me just go through the slabs slowly as I put them back in. Did you do my second live, says Patrick? Not yet, Mr. Patrick. I saw you send in for that one, but I haven't reached that yet. Been a couple of orders ahead of yours. Probably should have done it on the spot, but I kind of am a stickler for the rules. But I don't think it would have affected anybody. Unless there was somebody who had an order just before yours. Just going back through these, making sure it is sold. Put 40 towards slab away. Ooh, sounds good. Sorry about that. This slabs disappear really fast these days. I would have been happy to sell that to you, though. I almost feel like I could remember it selling. It's the funny part. That's why I had that funny feeling about it. All right, Andy Dirksen, $40 towards slab away. This goes down to, oops, 35. Boom, all right. Okay, let's rotate this real fast. So what, a bunch of masked men said no more immigration into the country? Here's a Zatu. Here's gold. And here's, ooh, hello. Ireland's just a small place, man. It is a real small place. You can do population replacement in a place like Ireland very fast. And they're feeling it, and they're saying, hey, this place is supposed to be Ireland. So I think It's like a different kind of war, basically. You either fight for your land or lose your land. I think those are the rules in the world. Here's Beatrice. Please use my $19 for a spot break. You got it. Let's check the website real fast. Look at that gold. I heard gold went up. Did gold go up? Let me double check that. Price of gold today. All right, so looking at this gold. Yes. Yes, gold is just behind its recent high point in October. So gold is up a little. Gold is up a little bit. Crazy. And nothing going on the website. And now it's Mr. Patrick's turn. Mr. Patrick, you ready? All right, so the queue is empty after this, guys. We have an empty queue if you want to open anything at all. Haiti adopted a decree to hold their first election since 2016. Oh, that's good. That's good. I feel you on being stressed and also really hate to hear that about your mom. Who's having a tough time? I've been extra stressed and depressed, but doing better. Mom fell and fractured her hip and had to have surgery this past week. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. 1, 2, 3. Man, falling's dangerous as you age, man. It is. All right. Ready? Picking up a Marshadow. Okay. Got a couple of these. When we have enough of those, we're going to toss another thing in that box. So this time you pick up a Trick or Trade Marshadow. SpaceX was approved for Starship launches at Cape Canaveral. Cape Canaveral. I feel bad for the Irish, man. I feel like the Irish should take back Northern Ireland from the UK, personally. When you look at the map, you can see that Northern Ireland is like part of the island of Ireland, and it's not part of the British island. I mean, they're very close to each other, right? But you can see which side it's on. And so they just lost that, I guess, over the years, and it ought to be theirs. It ought to be theirs. And this whole business with the immigration, it should just be some immigration and not like too much. And that's it. You know, all of that's pretty common sense to me. That's really uncomplicated. I don't know why the politicians are so hell-bent on taking like millions of people in under this maybe like refugee status, which really means welfare status. So it's like you bring people in, the people who made the island a nice place to live, they now have to go to work and pay welfare to people who did not build the island at all. And they just come and get the nice welfare. It just, I don't know how people tolerate it for so long. I think people in the West are so nice, they just put up with it for a long time until there's like a breaking point. And then they go, I can't take it anymore. But it's like, damn, dude. All right. Okay, refresh. But I can understand the fight to want Northern Ireland back, by the way. I really feel like it's part of, I mean, it's just like the way the land works. The way the land works, that upper chunk, I'd probably, if I was in Ireland, I'd be one of those angry guys saying, give us back Northern Ireland, bitches. And he says, I guess I'll finish off this slab away. No problem, man. Let's go grab that. Mr. Andy. So this is the PSA 10 Vaporeon. I'd probably be one of those guys saying, let's go get it back. It's ours. It was theirs. Until the British, until the British took it away. Here it is. The fact that Ireland is in that sort of land dispute, I feel like it helps them understand how you kind of do have to fight for land or someone takes it from you. I feel like it gives them a much more fresh feeling of it. There it is. Very nice. Like, the people of Ireland should own Ireland. You know, it shouldn't just be like a culturalist, faceless, raceless economic zone that goes to the highest bidder, which is basically what America sort of is. Actually, America's not only that. America's also like, America's like the opposite of that too. America's sort of like, how can we give this land away fast enough to people that will get onto welfare, you know? So that's been a big thing, because when you can do that, you can shift the demographics of the democracy, the voting power. Somebody who never fought for the country, never built the country, they just arrived, has just about the same voting power as you do the moment they become a citizen. And so America does that like crazy. We actually take on huge amounts of immigrants legally. We take on huge amounts. And then, but for Ireland, it's just a couple people over there. It's not, you know, there's not that many people on Ireland. It's a really small island. And it's crazy to think they're just going to turn the Irish into like the same status as the Hawaiians in Hawaii. It's like, oh, you made a really nice, that's a nice island you got over there. You made it nice. Would you mind if we turned you into a minority on it? It's like, damn, dude. And you either let them or you don't. It's just up to them. It's up to them. Where the men of that island have to decide what they want. Let's see. So you guys are saying Mega Dream coming in. Hopefully, Mr. Cricket Jim, we looked at the shipping status on it, and there's been like a disruption to FedEx shipping. We got an email, and the tracking has like an exclamation mark. Hopefully, it comes in tomorrow. All right, so let's see what's going on now, guys. Let's see. Yeah, I do feel sorry for them. I think they're going to lose their island over time. Emmanuel Valencia, 3 gem, 3 packs using store credit. Hell yeah, dude. All right. Honestly, I think the reason this kind of stuff is going on for the most part is because none of the men want to fight anymore. I think it's the same in America. Like, we're all kind of fat and comfortable. And it's like, well, I don't care. Somebody else should care. If your life's already going pretty well, why would you fight for your land? You're like, hopefully someone else fights for it. No one's going to do it. Everyone's got a job. They've got a family to feed. Or maybe not even a family to feed. Maybe they're just doing whatever it is they feel like doing. All right, here we are. Very nice. Gengar. Ooh. Oops. This group is one of the few things that keep me positive anymore. Oh, that's nice. Okay, let's see. Okay. Whoa. There we go. Okay. I was reading that Greece was getting real aggressive on it, on the whole subject. Yeah, I heard about Greece, and I was learning about this place, Yakutsk, and they had a similar problem themselves. So there's 21 minus 37, which is 16. There you go. $16 remain. Boop. Put that back over there. Yakutsk, or something like that, in Russia. They had an immigrant man from Central Asia. So it's like totally different races of people than anything we ever hear about. This guy's an Asian guy in a different Asian place. And, you know, he like R-worded some poor girl. And then the whole town went nuts. The city went nuts. And then they put up some really tough law saying you're not, what they basically did was they passed a law that said employers were no longer allowed to employ men immigrating from Central Asia into Yakutsk, or whatever, however you pronounce it. How crazy is that? Here it is. Ooh. All right. So it's not a, it's not like unique to Ireland or unique to the United States. That's what's interesting about that story. It seems to happen everywhere. Put this over here. So, Mr. Emmanuel, here's your bag. Thank you for the order. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. And I heard the guy in Greece, I guess is like the president of Greece or something like that. He said that they would no longer accept any asylum refugees at all. He said that anyone who comes to Greece seeking asylum would be sent to jail. And he called the immigration into Europe an invasion. And I was like, damn, dude. So I feel like the sentiment on that stuff has gotten really strong. 5 Korean Phantasmal, please. I have a bag. Ooh, Phantasmal Flames. So let me grab a box of Phantasmal. Very nice. I heard that Germany's having their elections, and the AfD is in the lead by a decent margin. The AfD is a German party that doesn't want any more immigration. It is. Ugh. Here we are. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop. Ready? Ooh. Let's go ahead and sneepy this up. Here's another interesting thing I heard. I heard that Poland's got a new law. I think it was Poland, that if you have just 2 children, you don't have to pay income taxes anymore. I was like, really? It's like, damn, I might need to go to Poland. No income taxes, you say? So the child birth rate is declining so much in the West and in Europe. Here's Toxtricity, and there you have it. William Wafter, nothing but cold ones this time. I'm sorry. There we go. Is this working? Let me close this real fast. Clicking on this. What time is it? 6:51. Happy Tuesday, guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. You know, we have a new card set on the menu now. It's the Magic the Gathering Avatar Last Airbender. So far today, no sales in the daytime stream for that product. Let's go ahead and adjust this, and we'll pull this up. Okay, William goes womp womp. I'm sorry, William. William Wafter. Mr. William. Ah, very nice. Good. Yeah, some interesting stuff going on in the world. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear some news that you guys are interested in. Doesn't have to be like politics or war or immigration or any of that stuff. Let's go ahead and grab a new slab. What are you guys interested in that's going on around the world? Here's Deoxys. Might as well price up both of these Deoxyses. We got 2 of them. 2 of them. Okay, 1 and a 2. I wish I had a little laptop here that I could work from, like on the table itself. That'd be nice. Ooh. Here it is. Okay, and here's this. Actually, I haven't seen the news for today. You guys want to Dillybirds? That's what I'm interested in. Speaking of Dillybirds, have you guys heard about the comic artist who wrote Dilbert? That guy's got serious cancer. He's got terminal cancer. The Dilbert guy. He got into politics for a minute. Remember him? Okay, let's see what the news is for today. The news. The news. Let's see. Ugh. Trump says some really mean things about Somalians. The boat strike on a drug boat tests GOP loyalty to Trump. Let's see. There's a Tennessee special election. I don't know. The suspect in the D.C. shooting is charged with murder. Let's see. Trump terminates all documents, including pardons signed by Joe Biden. Is that possible for him to do that? Let's see. Nothing fun. Nothing fun in the news. I wish there was like something exciting. Let's see. All right, let me close this out. Boop. It's a controversy over the bombing of those drug boats. It's an interesting subject. All right, let's go back to this. Ooh, we have an order from Mr. Gabriel Gallegos. No, you can't. Haha. Specially tagged 6 vintage Delibirds. So here's Gabriel. He says 25 Inferno X. Oh, look at this guy. He's swooping. That's a swoop. Okay. Oh, we didn't get a price on these. I'm sorry. So this shall say Old Maid Deoxys. And that is a really high price that makes no sense to me. Let me check last sold real fast. This last sold for... Click. Okay, so last sold for a lot of money. It actually last sold for $56. Are you serious? Wow. Okay. And the current one is $200 with the PSA 10, but I think that's just too high. I'm going to do the CGC price of 65, I guess. That's too high. It's just too much money. Okay. Oops. Very good. Now, back over here. William Wafter. This gentleman's sniping this whole box. He's going to say, I'll take the rest of that box. All right. What a move there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So there it is. These Inferno X booster packs for $2 per pack has been a pretty good selling product the last 2 days. I might have to order another case. People are opening this pretty heavily. I think we've sold like 5 booster boxes already. It'll have a Charizard. That would be tough. Here it is. Dang it. Okay. All right. I think the guy who shipped this into me too underdeclared these. Yeah. I never ask for them to do it. They just offer to do it sometimes. Okay. Shoop. Shoop. What do we got? Wow, it wasn't Altart. Altart Rotom. Ooh. Well, it's not Charizard. Let's see what's happening next. Very good. Yeah, I think Trump was making some argument about like the auto pen not counting or something like that, but it's like, my mind's still on that subject. I don't know if you can just overturn all the previous presidents' like orders or something. That doesn't seem right. I think they're making some kind of argument that it wasn't even from him, that somebody else signed it for him. There we go. Here's Flygon. Here's Miss Magus. Ooh, very nice. Here's a cold one. Sharpedo. Ooh. Who else has a subject they want to talk about? You guys, I do actually like the chit-chat in here sometimes. We talk a lot of cards. We can always talk about the card market. You can talk about your personal lives. You can ask advice, questions about, you know, you can pick my thoughts if you want my advice on anything. We could talk about what we ate. Ooh. Karis got some angel food cake. I'm going to have some cake later today. Here's the Genesect. All the January 6th pardons wouldn't count. Oops. Here's a Rotom. Oh. Very nice. Boop. Here's a cold one. Here's Reshiram. Ooh, the gem. We've got Lopunny. Look at that Lopunny. Flag on these and a cold one. Different time for me too. I miss those days sometimes. Yeah, different time for me. Wait, what? What are we talking about? All right, we got some fresh Korean cards that we can use in place of energy cards. Not bad, Mr. Gabriel. A little snipey wipey there, huh? Charcodette, Flagon, and this beautiful Rotom. The data of being so high, I didn't care about nothing. There we go. I'm glad you're not like that anymore. Ugh. It's way better to have a lot of good energy, healthy energy, and focus on productivity and success and the future. Here we are. All right. Very good. Let's rotate this. We've got Fur Alligator. Ooh, it's Fur Alligator. Kangaskhan 9. Here's Beedrill 10. You might have missed that. This is a good one. Here's Magneton. Come on now. Why does that happen every time with this? The vintage break. Ooh. Golden Gimme Ghoul. Ugh. Not a fan of Gimme Ghoul, personally. Success drives me. I want it so bad. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. It is. Yeah, that's the whole trick, really. Is to convert that energy not into like a bad direction, but a good, strong direction. It can take you really far. Here's the All Slabs channel. Take a picture of all these slabs. All these Pokemon. Okay. So that's an F. This is a B. This is a G. They go in the A box. And this is a Mr. Mime and a Magneton. They go in the M box. Ta-da. Okay. I may not know what you're going through. Here's a 7. Here's a 9. Oh yeah. Noivern and the Fox. Oops. Ta-da! We could use another sub 10. Here's one. I got a box where all the cards that didn't grade 10 go. It's called 9s and lower. Ooh. Hey, what's up, Cryptographic Lurker? He says, what would you advise a person who has no family, no friends, and essentially no one to do? How's it going, man? Yeah, I think your scenario that you're describing is going to be very common in the future. I think that a lot of people are not going to have kids. I waited a long time to have kids, and it's, you know, I think that the temptation to stay in that sort of pathway, to just sort of live your lifestyle that you're used to, your routine, is very tempting. It's low responsibility, but it's actually kind of boring, too. It's kind of boring. Just sort of feels like life's on its way out, you know what I mean? Compared to probably when you have a baby, there's something new to work on. And so I think people aren't having kids, people aren't having relationships, and people are having screwed up, you know, parents too. Like my parents weren't very good to me, and Kara's parents still aren't good. So, well, and I just don't talk to my family, but we're still, you know, I'm still in a relationship with Karis and I'm still trying to have a kid. So, you know, having those things I think is really important. We're in like this weird future where technology has kind of replaced a lot of what would have been like interpersonal relationships that we would have had. Instead of having that, now we like doom scroll and bed rot or couch rot or whatever you want to call it. And we play video games and we binge on food or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like you binge on TV, video games, doom scroll, adult content, you know, jerking off or whatever. But what you don't have is like spending time with family and friends, which seems like it's something that people pretty much did all the time in the past, like the 80s. What else was there to do? You play a little, maybe you play a little Mario, boop, boop, boop. But that was just a little 2D game. It wasn't that good. And you couldn't play it for like 16 hours a day. And people had real family connections and feelings back then. So, you know, if you're in a bad position on family, you have to treat it just like you would treat a career. And actually, in my opinion, you have to work on it with like a strategy and a goal. So your goal should be to like get whatever it is you can and start putting it together. So if you don't have a girlfriend, boy, I'd just stop everything you're doing and work on that. Like that's your number one goal is a girlfriend. And once you have a girlfriend, your quality of life will improve massively. And then once you have a girlfriend, I would focus on, you know, preparing to have a strategy to have a kid at some point. All right, here's Pikachu. Let's go ahead and grab this. And then even if you had bad parents like me, it won't matter because, you know, I think if you have a kid, you'll still have a family in the end. All right, let's see. Pikachu, number 120. Let's see. Had my kids at 25. Best thing ever now at 45. We are. I remember family dinner was non-negotiable. Yeah, we are. No, but we're entering into a new time period where people are, you know, increasingly busy with their toys and especially video games, but also like, you know, just sort of sitting on the internet, watching funnies on the internet, that kind of stuff. I think it can be so isolating that it reaches a point where it's like literally unhealthy, you know? Like you need somebody who you can actually talk to about life. Like Kirsten and I, we've been together a long time now. It's been like 12 years. And one of the things we learned is if we don't like sit down and talk to each other for like an extended period, we become kind of crabby toward each other. So you actually have to sit down and talk about, just like for an extended period, you need to be like together with someone, in my opinion. And it's like an important, I don't know, it's like psychologically important to do that. It's like therapy almost, you know, to just be able to sit down and talk to somebody for an extended period. And so we do that now. Like we have to do it. It's almost like it's required in a sort of way. And I just kind of think it's like Karis and I are still pretty isolated. Like we don't have a ton of friends out here in Lake of the Ozarks. There's nothing to do out here. But I don't see my family, and her family lives in St. Louis, and just not a lot of friends out here. And so it's just sort of like, you know, it's really quiet sometimes. It's really quiet. But, you know, when I think about it, someone my age would have had like 2 kids by now. And I feel like that's actually an important clue. Like there should probably be kids by now. It is, but we're working on that, man. We're working real hard on that. It turned out Karis had something called endometriosis, real bad. And we're using technology to try and get around that and have a baby. It is. All right, what we got? This. Times have changed. We didn't need cell phones, and we always came home before dark. Society in general was a safe space before the safe place before the internet. Now, I've heard arguments that that's not necessarily true. I've heard that there was even more, you know, like kidnappings and bad stuff that happened in the past, maybe like the 70s. But I actually tend to agree with you. Like, if you ever watch videos of the past, have you guys ever watched like Price is Right from like the 70s or 80s? Everyone seems so like physically like comfortable around each other. And it's the same, like if you watch like old videos of the beaches or the streets, there was no technology. In particular, I don't think there were that many perverts because there was no like adult content, so nobody watched it. So everyone was just kind of more innocent. And I think that made everyone a lot more comfortable with each other. Like we're living in kind of an experiment. The experiment is everyone has access to like really hardcore naked stuff on the internet now. And so there's a lot of adult content now, and people have cell phones and they can just sit there and scroll it all day and just ruin themselves with it. And the question is, so this is an experiment. It's never been done before. What's the outcome of that? And probably you probably get kinkier relationships, but there could be like downsides too. Like maybe everyone looks at each other like they're predators. Maybe there are more predators, you know? There's a sort of loss of innocence, essentially. And that loss of innocence maybe makes people less sociable even, like antisocial. Ooh, that is such a nice looking card, the little magic card. Let me grab that other magic card. So it's a subject that I've talked about on the stream before, like what is the outcome of it? I don't think it's something anyone would even vote to give up. So, you know, like if you could ban adult content, would anyone vote for that? I don't think so. So it's just sort of like a cat's out of the bag scenario, isn't it? Because again, in the 70s and the 80s, there really wasn't as much of that stuff. It wasn't as proliferated. There was no internet to sort of pass along, you know, hardcore content. It was super taboo. But you have so much of it now. And it's like, you probably have a lot of young men sitting around watching that content for hours instead of combing their hair, taking a shower, and going out to a social event and actually meeting real girls and going home with the real girl, you know? So you have a lot less, you have less time literally to go out and do that stuff because you're sitting on your couch doom scrolling through all that stuff. And there's got to be a cost to that, a certain cost. And so, yeah, I think that eventually there's just going to be far, far, far fewer families, fewer relationships, fewer children, and this sort of paranoid feeling like everyone's a pervert. Here's Oscar Ascendas, Pikachu Tag 9. I thought you might want that. Let's go find it. So I think that's probably one of the costs of all that, is everyone's going to look at each other with a certain paranoia, like, hey, stay away from my kids or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't trust anybody. You don't even trust anyone else's children. You'll probably be like, what do your kids watch? You know, do you give them access to the internet? You do? All right, your kid can stay away from my kid. Oscar Ascendas. Hey, mister, what's the hot break? Hey, like Zootopia? I heard Zootopia was really sexual. Is that true? Let me go mark this Pikachu is sold real fast, everybody. All right. let's see. Wait, I thought I took a picture of it. Oh, it would be under 9s and lower. Here we go. Pikachu sold. Okay. I just don't want to bring kids into a world that could be really screwed up in the future if we keep heading down this path, says Shahir. I've heard that a lot, Mr. Shahir. I honestly think there's more things at play than that particular sentiment. Like, I think in your head, you're trying to understand why you might not want to have kids, and you go, okay, maybe it's this thing. But the reason why I'm not so sure that that's the real cause is because people have been having kids for so long. Like, times were definitely harder during World War II, and yet everyone was having children. So now we live kind of in this future where things are very comfortable. It's like more comfortable than ever. And there is no World War II. And so, but everyone's suddenly saying the world's too harsh to bring a child into. So this is why I question if that's truly what's going on, or if it's sort of what you might call like a psychological rationalization. And so you're looking for an explanation, and that seems like a good one. But when you actually historically compare it, you realize that's probably not it. People are still having children during World War II. All right, let's see. So we're done with the Pikachu tag. We updated that. And did I see something come through? Let me hit refresh on this. It's the same with the money one too. Another argument a lot of people will make is actually that it's a financial decision that they, can't afford. But when you look at the past, humans have been having children in poverty since like the beginning of 2,000 years ago. So I don't think it's exactly poverty that has changed things, but maybe more like our expectations about money. So maybe our expectations about money have changed. But so in the past, people would say, well, I'm just going to have kids anyways, even though some of them are going to starve to death. And nowadays we're like, well, I don't own $100,000 cash. I can't have a kid. And so that's a very large departure from how we used to think and feel about children. It is. But another piece of evidence for this way of thinking being, maybe a misdirection for what's really going on. The proof is that if you look at poor countries, they still have tons of children. And it's actually the wealthiest countries have the fewest children. So I feel like it's actually a change in expectations, and that money itself was not the problem. You always could have had children while you were poor, but it's actually your expectations that you should be wealthy. That might have been the change. Here's Noctowl. Here we go. And here's Pipichu. I think Noctowl is really cheap. Easy to say when you have money. Keep that in mind. Some people just don't want to struggle and raise kids. No, I agree, Miss Elizabeth. It is way easier to say. So like for Kirsten and I, we had kids much later. Even when we were married and had like a condo, we still didn't want to have kids. And it's only now that we're on the brink of being too old to have children that we're like, oh my gosh, we better have children. And so I think this is going to happen to a lot of people. But it seems that, even when we were doing pretty well, we didn't want to have kids yet. So, I have the perspective that other people have, the whole like, yeah, let's wait. Maybe next year, maybe a year from now. Noctowl Japanese, number 114. When Karis and I were in college, we definitely didn't want to have kids. We were worried that having kids would put a wrench in our plans. Okay, this will be $38. Wow, that's a great price for a Noctowl. This Pikachu. Ooh. Okay, Pikachu. Okay. I think part of it, so I actually have some theories because this is, should I be investing in sealed or slabs? I have no luck when I open packs. Here's one of the tricks to Pokemon card, quote unquote, investing. You could do either. A lot of people don't tell you that. A lot of people kind of suggest that you just have to collect sealed booster boxes, but I've had tremendous success with slabs. Slabs go up in price in tandem with the booster box. So they go up together. Like if the price of the box goes way up, guess what? The price of the slab goes up too. If the price of the slab goes way up, the price of the booster box goes up. So they're kind of connected to each other. They're the same product. All right, so hold on. This is 25th anniversary Pikachu. We're going to say Japanese. Pikachu, Japanese, 25th. Boop. I'd more happily adopt an older child at some point. It is. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that because I would know it's not my child. I know I'd be raising someone else's child. Just not really anything wrong with that. Like my mother's family, so my grandmother, they had an adopted daughter, and I have an uncle with 2 adopted daughters. So I don't see anything wrong with it. But if I had none of my own children and I was capable of having children and I just, and I just didn't, I don't think that would be very satisfying. I would want to have a kid of my own first, which is maybe another distinct feature of how people are not having children. Maybe they don't see that as sort of like passing down their bloodline or replicating themselves, and they don't care about that or something like that. I don't know. Maybe they don't get very existential about, like surviving the gene pool. Let's see. I don't know. I'm trying to find this particular card. This is the reverse holo version of this card. This is really hard to find. So what do they call it? They call it Anniversary Collection Full Art Holographic. I think it's called reverse. Eddie says, I'm just curious on your theories. So my theory is that in the past, when you had children, it was a gigantic bonus for you and your family. It actually made you wealthy to have children. And that was because when you had children, your children would then work for you. They earned you money. And now we live in a very different society where your children earn money for the state. I think that has killed the desire to have children. Children are productive. When you have a child and they reach a certain age, they start earning money too. It's like you've popped out a worker from your genitals. So you've created a second person, which means now you have the work power of two people. Who owns that work power, though? Well, in the past, it was the parent. But then they introduced Social Security. Now the state owns it. And so I feel that in the past, you had children because you knew as you grew older, your children need to be able to take care of you. And you knew this was the way it worked because you took care of your parents or else they died from old age. And so you knew, okay, I'm going to take care of my parents and I need to have children because they're going to take care of me. And we got rid of that with Social Security. That's a government program. It's also called a Ponzi scheme because it's not possible to sustain it because in order to sustain it, each human would always have to pop out more children in order to scrape their income in order to pay for you. So if you're one person, you need to pop out 3 people to scrape their income. Well, what happens when on average people are only popping out 1.5 people? Well, now the whole thing's underfunded and collapses. So financially, it's not viable. It's only viable in the scenario where people have an infinitely growing population. And since it didn't really account for that, the idea that the society would have to infinitely grow, I got to reprice this OP5 card. Since they didn't really account for the idea that maybe society would not infinitely grow, it became unsustainable over time. So like, yeah, in the past, if everyone was having like 4 or 5 kids, totally sustainable. But it was going to eventually fail when society gets too big. And then you don't have infinitely growing profits because you don't have infinite free resources to access, infinite land. So it was going to be a point where there would be a decline where maybe now it's only 1 person per couple. And so what are they going to do? They're going to scrape that entire 1 person's income to pay for 2 grandparents? Like, it just doesn't work. And so it's bound to fail. It's just financially, it has to fail. And I think that it stole away the value of your child from you. I've said this before on this channel. My theory is that when you have a child, you have to spend all the money raising the child. It's a private cost. You have to spend the money to get that child to the age of 18. Once they're 18, they go out in the world and they become an asset of the government. So now the government takes all their money as they earn it. They go, okay, now we're going to take a bunch of your money. So they go to work and they can't afford a home. They can't afford a car. They can't afford anything. And the government takes their money. What should have happened when you give birth to a child, that child should have to pay you taxes. So when your child gets a job, you should get a kickback for the rest of your life from their job. That's how it should actually work. And this would completely change society. If your retirement was 100% based off of the number of children you would have, everyone would have a couple of children by default. That would be like the goal. Now, not everyone would be capable of that, but that would be the goal. And if you were truly infertile, there could still be a government program to take care of you when you're older. But for everyone else who is, it would say, you better have kids then, because if you don't have a retirement. Your children have to go to work and pay for your retirement. And I think that that's a much better system because it puts people in touch with how that retirement money comes about. Currently, the system keeps you out of touch with that So you can just have 0 children and still expect to have a Social Security account. And but it is going to collapse because there's not going to be another wave of children. So just the normal pattern of older generations getting things easier and cheaper while screwing over younger generations. Yeah, and that's it's funny you should bring that up, Mr. Shahir. That's a very serious problem. Because what we're finding, one of the societal strategies that old people or just people in general use, maybe people who are ignorant or people who are selfish, is they realize we can put the country into debt and borrow all this money for ourselves and buy all this great stuff. And then someone else's problem. The debt's someone else's problem. So every country is doing this, and it will cause a financial collapse eventually. And so this is one of the problems of human organization, which is government. Government is just human organization. The general flaws of a human being, they get addicted to drugs easily. They don't produce as much as they like to spend. So they like to overspend and underproduce. Humans not get along with each other. These general ills, they make it to the government as well. They're reflected in the government, in their legislation and stuff like that. Humans should, of course, be avoiding drugs, working hard, staying healthy, being super productive, spending less than they produce, and then giving their wealth away to the children. So right now, our country should have 0 debt, a huge surplus, and you and I should be inheriting it because the elderly generations took care of us, but they didn't. They took care of themselves. And in general, you're just going to continue to see that pattern. This is why I'm a strong believer in human evolution, because my perspective is that humans fail at these problems because of insufficient brains. You have to have a bigger brain to do it. So by the time your brain is large enough, you'll design society to be more like optimal. And so you'll design society so that you earn a lot more money because you're working harder and you're more productive and you're producing stuff of higher value, right? Like if all you do is produce, maybe you dig a hole in the ground for money, that's not productive. But if you're producing like super technology and medicine, that's very productive. So humans should just be more productive in general, but also work harder. And then you should always be in a scenario where your net savings are rising against your spending. So you earn $1,000, you spend 900. You earn another 1,000, you spend 900. So that kind of scenario, and then the government actually hands off a surplus to the younger generations, who then don't squander it. By the way, we're terrible at squandering. Squander has become a really important word for me because I realize most humans, if they do run into some sort of serious luck where they've inherited money, they immediately squander it because they themselves are not good at money. So it's a generational issue, and the solution is evolution. We have to evolve people's brains. We all turn into dust eventually. Dust in the wind. All right, guys, really great conversation. It's 7:23, and I think we're going to wrap up here. We're going to be back on for the Tuesday nighttime stream, and I'm probably going to go log out, hang out with Karis. We got another doctor's appointment in the morning, so it's stressful, man. It's going to be one today, and I think one tomorrow, and there might be a third one. I had a lot of fun, guys, opening up cards and pricing up some slabs. This is a really good one, by the way. Look at that. We'll be on tonight, and I don't think there's going to be Mega Dream, unfortunately, but we have all the other fun things on the menu and all the fun breaks. We have this lightning break right here. See it? And we have a new Nami break now. We are. So those are some breaks that could go off tonight. I don't think that one will go off tonight. But we'll be back on and pricing up new slabs from the return. We actually have a lot more slabs to price up, believe it or not. Only about, I think we've only priced up like 20% of the return. So there's a lot more slabs to price up. So I hope you guys will be there to see that. And we'll just talk and have some fun, okay? See you later, guys.